So I brand myself as a social anxiety coach. What is the value in receiving my one-to-one coaching sessions? And how is it different than counseling, therapy, etc.? So on a basic level, coaching is help and support. It's help and support for managing anxiety, reducing your social anxiety, building confidence around people, starting to be yourself and pursue a life that you really want to pursue. That's what it's about. So if I'm coaching somebody, it's not about my ego. It's not about my fears. I never try to push my ideas of how you should live your life. Before each session, I ask myself the question, how can I remove my fears, insecurities, and ego in this moment right now to help out the client who's right in front of me? And I turn up 100% committed, 100% determined to make a difference, to have a positive impact on that person's life. And there's something powerful about receiving help and support from another person. You can't coach yourself. I wish that I could clone myself and receive coaching sessions from myself every single week. I would pay for my own coaching. Being able to freely talk about what's bothering you, talk about what's going on in your inner world to someone on the outside, who truly listens to every word you're saying, to someone who is passionate about helping you out, to someone who's going to try their very best to really understand. That's powerful. That's a powerful experience. Someone who isn't going to invalidate your feelings. Someone who's going to be on your side and encouraging you to open up more and more and more. There's something powerful about having that experience. There's also something powerful about hearing advice from another person in a conversation. Not in a video, not from a book where it's impersonal, but something that's real and something that's felt. So helping people to open up and talk about what's bothering them is a really important pillar of my coaching. Helps people clear out whatever's bothering them. There's that phrase that a problem shared is a problem halved, and it really applies here. So the coaching itself is one-to-one, either over coffee in Birmingham or over a video call. And it's always through the conversation. So I'm helping out a client through the conversation and through the connection. Conversations are powerful. And when done in the right way, conversations can have a huge impact on somebody's life. And in each coaching session, I'm doing my best. I'm striving to give the person the conversation that they need to hear in their life right now. So I'm not going to come in with prepared material. That isn't my style of coaching. There's going to be challenges that you're going through in your life, and I'd rather listen to them. So every single coaching session is a unique conversation. No two sessions are the same. Of course, people struggle with similar sets of challenges, and I have suggestions that I can give to common problems. But I make sure to treat every session as completely unique and different, because you're not being coached from a textbook. You're not being coached from a book of tricks, someone that's going to pretend to listen, get a clipboard out, and start ticking boxes. You're not being coached with someone who has a list of prepared questions and is speaking from a script. That's not happening. I put all that to one side. It's not about that. I coach you through the conversation and through the connection. So I genuinely listen and I fearlessly speak from the heart, from a place of honesty. So it's honesty from a place of heart and empathy and passion, combined with genuine listening and complete determination. One difference between coaching and counseling is that counselors, they're not allowed to share their story and their challenges. So it's one of their rules that they can't do that. They consider it to be unethical. But when I received coaching, I had one session a week for 3 years of coaching. When the guy would open up and share his challenges and his story, that helped me out so much. It helped me out so much that I thought, how could I not make this a part of my coaching? And I never wanted to go to a coach who had learned how to coach from a textbook. I don't care if you've read 1,000 books in your area. I want somebody who's actually living it. That's what I'm interested in. And I want someone to talk from real experience, because it's more powerful, it's more inspirational, and it's going to make me feel normal about how I feel and help me out to accept myself and grow as a person. So, for example, when I was receiving coaching, I struggled with social anxiety, confidence, and I struggled to find a girlfriend. Those were some big challenges in my life that were making me feel depressed, miserable, making me feel low. And when I heard him share his challenges around finding a partner, getting rejected, failing his way to success, his challenges with overcoming crippling social anxiety, that really helped me out overcoming my challenges. So I will share my story, my struggles and my challenges, things that I've done, when I know it's going to help somebody out. And getting coaching from somebody who is living what they're teaching, lives and breathes what they teaches, rather than just preaches from a textbook, is worlds apart. If you wanted to go to someone that's read a textbook, you might as well go to an AI bot for your coaching session. It's not the same. There's a lack of human connection. The textbook and rules are getting in the way of the simplicity of how human connection and coaching is supposed to be. I also help people to build a disciplined routine, and I hold them accountable to it. Accountability is so important. For example, when you have work, you always get up, get dressed, and get there on time. Probably rarely do you sleep in and miss your morning at work because there's accountability there. But if you was left to your own devices, you might snooze several times, you might start doing things late. But accountability helps you to take the right actions. And I hold people accountable to a disciplined and balanced lifestyle that's going to support their mental health, help them to grow as a person, help them out in so many areas. And I don't hold them accountable from a place of self-punishment, but instead from a place of self-love. And the routine itself involves regular exercise, cardiovascular exercise, several times a week, whether it's running, cycling, swimming, sports, whatever kind you enjoy the most, eating healthy, going to at least 2 social circles, social groups every single week. And when you're there, focusing on being yourself, overcoming your social fears, and also spending time on a daily basis working on your purpose in life, your goals, your personal growth. And when people are living a routine where they're doing this, they feel on top of their own world. Life's not getting the better of them, they're getting the better of life. They're not being beaten up by their own anxiety, they're kicking their anxiety's ass. So I teach people a disciplined routine and hold them accountable to it. And what I also do is I identify people's strengths. And I'll take a slight sidestep, then come back to this, because everything ties together. So when I was receiving coaching, one thing which really helped me out was when I realized that the guy coaching me is not just saying that he believes in me, he actually believes in me. He genuinely has confidence in me. It's easy just to say words, but it's different when people truly mean it. And from the actions and energy, you can tell this. And because he believed in me so much, that rubbed off on me and helped me to believe in myself. So it's almost like someone else's belief in me was transferred to me. And this is something which I do to all of my clients. I believe in every single person that I coach. Otherwise, I wouldn't be spending my precious time on earth coaching them. Every single person has DNA that has survived millions and millions and millions of years, millions of rounds of propagation. And what this means is that it's no fluke why you're here. And you've got a unique set of strengths. They're different from one person to the next, but as sure as night is night and day is day, you've got talents, gifts, strengths, and maybe you're just not aware of what they are. something which really helps out my clients is identifying what their strengths are, pointing their strengths out to them, which can often be surprising, and helping them to play to their strengths more in their life. We all have situations where we naturally light up as a person. Maybe when there's a dramatic performance, you feel really confident, you're in your element, and you're having a blast. Maybe you're a great writer, you're a great artist. Maybe you're an amazing listener. You have fantastic hand-eye coordination. Whatever it is, we all have unique strengths. And when you can learn to appreciate your own and you're living life according to your strengths, you're in your element, you're going to be a lot more successful, a lot happier, because you're constantly reminded of the fact that you're competent and you have value to give. I also challenge people's limiting beliefs and irrational fears. So you could say that a lot of my coaching is cognitive behavioral therapy, which is known as CBT. And often people are really held back by these irrational fears. And they're making life out to be so much more complicated and difficult than it really needs to be. They're creating a reality where they feel overwhelmed, but it doesn't need to be like this. I'll give you an example. So I've coached several men over the years, and some of these guys who have the social anxiety background, they want to find a nice partner, but they're struggling. They're struggling to go on dates. And they might say to me, Phil, I feel that I'm ugly, and this is the problem. This is the reason why I'm not going on any dates. And I would say to them, have you ever been on any dates in the past where a girl has seen your face first? And they would say yes. Have you ever been on a second date? Yes. Well, in all of those cases, your looks were enough because they saw your face first and it didn't put them off. So you passed the bar. Your looks were enough. And I ask people two basic questions in this area. Are you having conversations with women who you're interested in dating? And if the answer is no, how can they expect to build a connection and relationship with somebody if they're not having conversations? If they say yes, they are having conversations. Are you asking out those girls who you're speaking to and you're interested in dating? Often the answer is no. So, due to people's limiting beliefs, they're not doing simple things that actually work. Something which my mentor taught to me, which stuck with me, is that life is simple, but the mind makes it complicated. So often the solutions to our problems are simple actions. They require courage. They're not always easy to do, but they're not complicated. Doesn't require solving a puzzle. Doesn't require too much intellectual ability. But it does require courage. It does require honesty. In my business strategy isn't complicated. I run events, help people, and have conversations. I ask people if they want to do coaching. It's simple, not complicated. So often when I'm having a conversation with a client, I'm listening to their limiting beliefs and challenging them, and I'm winning that battle that's going on beneath the surface. What's going on beneath the dialogue that they're telling me? And when I beat that battle, suddenly they're going out there and meeting people naturally in their own lives. And whether it's dating, relationships, business, these are all examples. It's really about you pursuing what's right for you. Another way in which I help people out is I teach them how to navigate social situations, especially ones that are causing them grief and bother. Whether it's toxic people at work, difficult boss, challenges with family members, meeting new people at social events, whatever it is, something which a lot of clients have told me is that I've helped them to learn how to navigate those situations in future, so they don't need to worry about them anymore. And I also change people's relationship with that inner voice, the imposter syndrome, the voice of fear. So humans are run by fear. Different people are run by fear to different extents. And some people spend their entire life in reaction to fear. They say things to themselves like, I must do this thing or else. I have to do this. If I don't achieve this goal, this terrible thing will happen. And they're living their life in reaction to fear. Their inner voice is telling them that they're worthless, they're rubbish, they're incompetent, they're stupid, they're ugly, and they're buying it. So I teach people how to change their relationship with these internal fears. They're still listening to the voice of fear. It's there to keep you safe, but also taking it with a pinch of salt. You don't need to live in reaction to your inner voice of fear. It's often irrational. So I help people to step outside of that and change their relationship with this voice. And at the same time, facing fears through exposure therapy in the outer world. This reduces anxiety, improves confidence, and just makes you feel so much more liberated. Why are so many people stuck in jobs that they don't enjoy? Because they don't have the courage to change their life situation. They're afraid. What if they lose their job? Or what if they step away from their job and they're not able to find another source of income? What if they go broke? What if they miss out on a redundancy package? What if the career they try to move into fails? What if they can't handle the fear, the anxiety, the emotions, and the stress that are going to come up? It requires courage to change your life. I found it scary when I decided to jump into business full time. I just finished a PhD in pharmacology, which wasn't for me. And I'd had experience coaching on a free level and had a few paid clients. And I decided to jump into coaching on a full-time basis. That required a lot of courage. And over time, I learned to deal with my own fears a lot better. And that imposter syndrome voice, the inner bully, has quietened down so much as I've got stronger and stronger and just grown more and more. So this really helps out people as well. And I simply focus on being determined in every session and being committed to giving all of my human energy and bringing everything to the table. I'm teaching people things that I've learned from improv comedy, karate, health and fitness, receiving coaching, coaching other people. So there's nothing left off the table. I put all my human energy into each session. And after the sessions, I send people a breakdown of what we discussed and I give them action points to follow through with. And these are usually behavioral changes. And I space the sessions out once a month so that between one session finishing and the next session starting, people have that amount of time to build new habits. And it takes 3 weeks or so to build a new habit. So spacing the sessions out monthly gives people enough time to make progress and make changes between coaching sessions. And also I help people have fun and keep it light as well. So I don't coach people in areas where I don't have experience. I just stick to what I know, what I've actually done, what I live and breathe. And I can coach people who have from a range of backgrounds. But I only coach them on what I know. So if someone's been through a specific trauma, I can still coach them, but they're not coming to me for coaching on that specific trauma. They're coming to me for my style of coaching. They're coming to me for help with social anxiety, confidence with people, living life with less fear, building a positive lifestyle. They're coming to me for these reasons. And I only work with what the other person shares. And if you're thinking that coaching is something that you potentially want to experience, it's something that might be able to help you out with your goals in life, send me an email. I do sessions on a pay-as-you-go basis, and I charge £100 for a 1 hour one-to-one session. And it requires confidence to charge on a pay-as-you-go basis. So what I'm not saying is set some goals, pay me a huge amount of money up front, and then we'll focus on the results. I'm not doing that. I'm saying spend money on a 1 hour session. Go away. See if you're making the progress that you'd hope to make. And if you're making the progress that you bargained for, you'll come back for another one-to-one session the next month, and so on, and so on, and so on. So my coaching requires confidence in my own coaching, because I give people the trust to go away, make progress, and come back. And I know that they're not going to come back if they're not getting value. If you paid for a session with somebody, didn't receive any tangible value, you wouldn't come back. But if, on the other hand, you do a paid one-to-one session, you actually get loads from it, and it really helps you out, you're going to come back for another session. And by the time you've done 5 or 6 sessions, you will have made loads of progress. A year's worth of coaching, you could be a totally different person if you're really committed and willing to put the honest hard work in. So if you're interested in receiving coaching, send me an email and tell me what you want to work on. And if I like the sound of the email, I like the attitude that comes across, and I believe that you're somebody who I can help out, I'll send you a link to my calendar and we can get on a video call session. Enjoyed today's live stream. Until next time, hope that you have an awesome rest of your day.